rocking this building. We gotta let them know who's here, innit? We gotta let them know who's here, innit? Re-rolling. Where we rolling? Where we going? Tell me, please. Huh? They think that double tap don't double tap no more. I made them double tap and then going up the score. I got the murderers on my box when I'm on tour. I drop the bag and get your head bust and that's for sure. They think that double tap don't double tap no more anymore. I made them double back and then going up the score. I got the murderers on my box when I'm on tour. I drop the bag and get your head bust and that's for sure. Them man keep calling me up, stop drawing me up, bro. Don't be stupid. All of my niggas are ruthless shooters. XD filled with Lugers. Too many times that they cross that route. They're not holding us like Cupid, check. To prove it, we do this step time, left them clueless. Losers spinning their block like Rubik's. Cash still doubling, going off Sublic. Blue tick, don't mean shit, fuck music. Clip on a flip now, pulled out pubic. Caught him and held him captive, I'm active. Switch on the back now, rapid. Reactive force with the mic, I slapped him, my baby in about it, I'm rich. They think that double tap don't double tap no more. I made them double back and then going up the score. I got my murderers on my box when I'm on tour. I drop that bag and then your head bust and that's for sure. They think that double tap don't double tap no more. I made them double back and then going up the score. I got them murderers on my box when I'm on tour. I drop that bag and get your head bust and that's for sure. What's what, don't beg it. Fuck that further. Are you dumb? I got my murderers on my bus and I'm on tour. Hey, what? Listen, Digga D, yeah? Digga D is not a joker, bro. He's not a joker, bro. He's not actually a joker. Digga D just got tunes on tunes on tunes. But that's not why we're here today. The reason why we're here today is because we're reacting to Tankz, innit? My man said he's going to be a dictator. And he said he's got quite a lot of solutions, you know? He said he's got quite a lot of solutions in regards to how to fix UK. So you say what he would do is just hypothetical, you know. Obviously, I did a couple videos that did quite well. So I thought, you know what, let me just do a live stream. Try out the live streaming and that, since man's been getting a bit more attention and stuff. So it only makes sense, you know. But yeah, man. So I did a couple videos over the past week where Tankz basically was saying, actually, I might as well just play it since you lot are here, you know. I might as well just play it since you lot are here. I'm just gonna check on my phone to make sure that the live is activated. We rolling.
Dios made this.
They think that double tap.
Yeah, stupid. Listen, yo.
They think that double tap don't double tap no more. I made them double back and then going up the score. I got them murderers on my bus when I'm on tour. I drop that bag and get your head bust and that's for sure. Listen, this tune is a summer rhythm. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that. Factually, actually. Listen. Stupid. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, is we're gonna do a recap. I was gonna try go live on Instagram. I can't go live on flipping. Yes, Gozy. Wagwan. Oh, I'm live on Instagram. Okay. Saying nothing. Man needs to check to see what it's saying. Can see me alright and that. Hey? They're saying that double taps don't double tap no more. Double back and then go and not the score. I can't see it, but fuck it. So boom. Oh, it's TikTok. Car. Double back and then go and not the score. Murderers on my bus and I'm on tour. Listen, alright, cool. So enough of the gas thing now. The reason why we're actually here, like I said, is we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the Tankz situation. So the UK is getting worse every year, and here's why. Quite a lot of
I track progress toward my goals with this.
Quite a lot of ideas I have for this, so that's why I was like, you know what, I need to make the video
I might as well just do a live stream because I got so much to say. I was 6 minutes into this video and I had 40 minutes worth of content.
Right now.
40 minutes worth of content. So it's like a no-brainer. I have to come in and I have to basically start mastering my craft, innit? If man's gonna be on the screen talking all the time, chatting all the time, might as well get comfortable doing it live, you know what I'm saying? So you look and see where I go and see who also is King also. Don't get hit with a brick. But man just gotta do what I gotta do. You get me? Everyone gotta do what they gotta do because the UK is not making it easy for you, you know? The UK is literally licking you down with a brick, fam. So it's just one of them ones, man. It's just one of them ones. It's just one of them ones. Can't do much about it. You can only try your best, innit? So I have to remember that I am on 2 streaming platforms. So bear with me if I'm a bit slow. Because I'm operating 3 different apps now. I'm operating so the internet, my streaming platform that I'm using to go live on YouTube with, and then TikTok live as well. So bear with me if the screens look a bit mad sometimes and man's taking too long, you know? So bear with me, man's new to this. But yeah, let's hop into the reaction right now.
Okay, guys, so the UK is not in a good state right now. You know, it seems like every single first world country around the world has the exact same issues.
Now, that's crazy. Did you hear the first statement though? My man said every first, not third, every first world country is in tatters right now. Nobody can survive. There's rampant crime. The government's corrupt. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. The government's fully corrupt, bro. It's mad. It's actually mad.
Every single one, you know, and now I've learned
it's not even mad. It's reality, fam. The government is corrupt, bro. And like, I was watching videos yesterday, innit, because I wanted to learn more about the subject. Because I'm thinking, when back in the day, there was English revolutions, there was civil revolutions, there were revolts. There's quite a lot of civil wars, you know what I'm saying? Insurrection attempts or lead up to them. So I literally did some research digging last night, and I found out that you see One Piece, you know One Piece, actual One Piece, the movie, not the movie, sorry, the Netflix TV show and the anime. So some of you that are watching only watch the next TV show, you haven't come across them yet, but those of you who have watched the anime and read the manga know that there are the world, are they celestials? Are they celestials? Or they're gods. They're just humans that got all the wealth and control the world, innit? And they literally have people as slaves walking around, and like, you can't touch them because if you touch them, they bring the Navy on you. The Navy is like the world's biggest police force. Like is a world government. So everyone, yeah, it's literally the world government. That's literally what it's called, world government. And the pirates are basically going against these guys, innit? Because they want to live their life free. They don't want to be held to the shackles of your rules telling me what I can and can't do. So man just goes on their own path. Pirates are beefing the navies. Obviously you got evil pirates and you got good pirates, but that's what it's like. But so how the world dragons, I think they're called world dragons, yeah, or world celestials, yeah, how they treat people is just how King Charles and King James was treating people. They literally rewrote the Bible to match their intentions. And that's very similar to what another group has done in the past. So they're not the only ones. It's actually Christians have done it as well. But that king got, obviously I don't want to say it online. But yeah, let's get back into the video.
Appreciate, a couple years back, you know, I was one of those people like, oh, I want to leave the UK and that. But now I love it here, bro. I love London even more. I love the UK. Like, I love my city, bro. Like, I'm never... One day I'll tell you I'm never leaving my city. The other day I'll tell you I can't wait to leave my city, you know? But
now, I'm telling you again, so what I said previously is that the way my man has decided to take the angle of being a patriot and a proud British citizen, that's really going to really intelligent, because it's going to capture a lot of Middle England. And Middle England is the largest population of England. Obviously you've got subsidiary groups, so you've got Lower England, you've got Upper England. Middle England is like, yeah, every day, like, you see the people you see in Primark, 80% of those people are Middle England. 10% is like, nah, that's a lie, that's a lie. No, Middle England depends on how you perspective it. So if you're thinking about people that are the citizens of the city and they have a vested interest in politics and get annoyed and stuff like that, that's what Middle England is. So you're probably Middle English as well. So there's like Upper England, which are the people that are like super rich and the ones that we're pissed off with, and then you've got Lower England, which is poverty, and then a lot of the migrants and a lot of just poverty, basically poverty. Anything below the poverty line is Lower England. Anything at the poverty line or above is Middle England. Anything above, basically, you don't actually have to work. Like once you sleep and you make bread, you're now Upper England, because now you have a life. You're free of the shackles of the rat race.
At the end of the day, it will always be home to me. And I've got a brethren, my brethren I've known for 15 years. You know, we've been catching up recently. We've been talking a little bit more. And he's just been on the job hunt, and it's really dark, and he's been trying for a while, and it's just not good. You know,
yeah, man, jobs are hard to find. Jobs are very hard to find. I worked in property, I've worked in retail, I've worked in hospitality, and the most recent jobs I've been in is they've all been in property and lettings and sales and stuff like that. So every time I tried to get a job when I didn't have one, it took me about a year. Literally. Takes a year to get a job. And that's just the average, because there's not like, there's too many people and they've taken away the jobs with AI technology. But in Japan, I went to Japan for 3 weeks last month. So April 24th to March 24th to April 14th. I was in Japan for, and the way they use AI, they still make a person necessary. So you see how you have your checkout till and you have to put the money in it. You have the clerk, but it's for the benefit of the clerk, not the benefit of the whole situation, because they understand that human interaction is the basis for life. So the less we interact with each other, the more disconnected we've become and the more alone we feel. And then that's why you become demoralized and start to think that you are not Middle England when you are Middle England. But Middle England actually have a very big responsibility. You are the people, are the backbones of society. Middle England is the reason why England is the way it is. Because like I said, in King Charles' days, Middle England, about 70 to 80% of the population said, nah, fuck this, bro. We told you to pattern up, and you're not patterning up, so you're done. Exile them. If they don't want to leave, if they're still doing fuckery, then my man took them off. So...
But a whole load of people who have been lied to about their degrees meaning something and left with nothing.
Yes,
you know,
K1.
Gen Z, the generation I am, like, bro, it's really bad. It's really, things are hopeless. Unless you're really good at something exceptional or have done, it's not good. It's really not good. And it's not fair on us. You know, you've got everybody working full time and still living hand to mouth. How on earth does that make sense? It's like there's no opportunities to really enjoy life, bro. You understand? The price of things doesn't make any sense. Yeah. None of it makes sense.
The price is mad because, for example, look at the BP oil situation, yeah? I'm going to see if I can go find it now, innit? I literally took it off today. But let's just say BP record profits. Because it's going to be there. 100% is going to be there. But this ain't the one I was looking for. I want the one that I interacted with. Because I was going to read it like a smart person. BP more than doubled their profits due to the war in Iran. Here we go. It's a video though. BP more than doubled their profits due to the war in Iran from 1.38 billion to 3.2 billion. So essentially they more than doubled their wealth. So if it was 1.5, if they started off at 1.5 and then became 3 billion, then that means they doubled their wealth. But they started off below 1.5. They started off at 1.38 and then now they ended at 3.2. So essentially that's another 500 million they earned. So they earned they earned, I'm trying to do decimal maths and I'm not good at that. I'm good at normal arithmetic, but decimal maths, man, can't do them thing there still. It's a bit mad. But yeah, but let's just have a video talk because somebody might be able to explain it a bit better. British guys, fuck it anyway. So my point being, yeah, if British if BP is able to generate more than double their wealth, because, so let me start again, just so I can paint the picture for you correctly, yeah? So the reason why things become more expensive is because there's less of it, right? So now the world's stressed out because the war in Iran is causing the oil prices to skyrocket because Iran said we're not allowing you to trade without paying our tolls, and nobody wants to pay the tolls. So now nobody wants to pay the tolls. Iran said no one's allowed through. So now people are panicking about the amount of oil they have. So in that scenario, if you're not able to get more oil, realistically, yeah, obviously you're going to raise the price so that you can survive longer, yeah? But then within that situation, you only raising the price because you have limited stock or less stock. So they shouldn't really be making more than they would be making if it was a normal time. Because if it's a normal time, it's not normal for any company to more than double their wealth in under 12 months. So, especially at these large numbers. So they're literally stealing from us because they have enough oil. Or they're trading the oil still, but they're telling us one thing and then they're just shooting up the price on us. I heard on the news today that a area near where I live is out of petrol in the pump fill for the trucks. And I was just thinking, I was like, but they just made record profit, so that means they have enough oil. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were running out of money, then okay, oh shit, you're actually failing, you're in trouble now. Like, damn, but they're not. They're making more money than they ever had in their whole existence of being a company, bro. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy, man. But yeah, that's what you call getting hit with a brick. Yes, DJ Nell. That's what's called getting hit with a brick. Yeah, BP's hitting us with a brick. That's crazy. BP is hitting all of us with bricks. You, me, your mum, your auntie, your little sister, your dog. Because you have to look. Well, Tuesday, a dog would be alright without you. Because a dog can just go and yam their food when they want to go and yam their food. Like, they're not literally retarded. Sorry, I can't say that word. They're not like a bit slow like other people. But let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the video still.
GDP goes up every single year. That should show you guys GDP. It's just the rich getting richer, bro. That is all it is. And how do you judge the rich getting richer? I judge it on things that used to be free, things that we used to have all the time, actual day-to-day quality of life, parts, clothes.
Well, what a lot of people fail to see with the, how do I say, less freedom. So I don't know how people deal with the government taking away their freedom now. Yeah, it was happening quite a long time ago. So for example, they're stopping us from able to, basically they want to have cameras everywhere. They don't want you to be missing no payments. They're blocking off bare pieces of the road. They're leaving the road chopped up and ugly and stuff. Yeah, but all of that stuff, before they did that, they were doing other things. So everything they're doing now on a global scale, they was testing on the minority community, which is black people. So they've done a lot of these things to us beforehand.
Libraries closing.
So the youth clubs were a very essential part of black society and community. Because what you have to remember, if black people was all living in their country, yeah, all their neighbors would basically be their family, because it would be generations of generations of generations and generations of people all knowing and living each other as a families, being integrated. But then because we came to the UK, we got to help them rebuild. They shunned us out of the road. Like, they made us have nowhere to live, no blacks, no dogs, couldn't sleep nowhere, booking whatever. So they mashed us up in terms of like mentally, morally, and then it's black people from different countries. So black people from Jamaica, black people from Africa, all other Caribbean countries. So it's a melting pot. So now that sense of community and connection is all gone. And that's what the youth club was replacing. The youth club was there to kind of fill that void of community, to allow people to the community to gel together and feel like family and feel like I respect you and you're a part of me, I'm a part of you, all of them things there. But since, man said my beard looks strong. Trying my best, man. Trying my best, bro. I've been shampooing and conditioning it every single day, sometimes twice a day, because I was like, bro, I'm getting old now. There's no way man can still just not have a beard, blood. There's no way man can have a beard no more. But yeah, the youth club was basically filling that void, innit? And they took that away. That was the first thing they took away from the black youth. They took stuff away from black parents and stuff for a long time, yeah. But then as like the next generation, so my generation, because it affected me. So that's the first thing the government took away from me, was my sense of community. But yeah.
Potholes that are older than me, you know?
And then now all these other problems, these are just things that they have tested. So basically test human behavior. How do they react? We didn't really do nothing. We didn't kick a fuss, or we didn't even create it ourselves. Imagine we just started doing youth clubs ourselves. Imagine we just did that, because in Bristol we had Malcolm X, and then it got turned into some foolishness. Like, it was just not built for the purpose. It was built for very, it was built like a church, but it was built like a child's church. Instead of being built like a community dynasty or community gathering place, it was just treated just a bit like a kid's little, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? But if we had our own youth centers, then this would have triggered a ripple effect. So now, when did that happen to me? It happened to me when I was a teenager, so I'm about 13, 14. So 14 years later, this would trigger the ripple effect to make people that are the people, Middle England, start to do things themselves. The government's not paving the roads. I'm going to pave the roads. Yo, government, I just paved the roads. It's been mashed up for how long? You're not doing what you're doing. I want to audit. Get an audit. Okay, how much money do you spend here? Oh, so you spent that much there. So how come you haven't done this then? What was going on then? And then you're going to see, I don't know what they're going to say, but you're not going to know it's bullshit. And it's because they're siphoning off the bread. But we'll get into that a little bit more.
It's just the rich getting richer, bro. That is all it is. And
yes,
how do you judge the rich getting richer?
What are you saying,
I judge it on things that used to be free, things that we used to have all the time, actual day-to-day quality of life. Parks closing, libraries closing, potholes that are older than me, you know? These are things that shouldn't be happening, but, you know, the price of everything seems to be going up. You have less and less money to less and less disposable income, while everything else is getting worse. Taxes are increasing. None of this makes sense, and the country's so broken that it's hard to even really see a way out of this.
You have to actually deep what you're saying, yeah? Don't just, hold on, I'm going to put my camera, my charger. So I just plugged in my light so it wouldn't die on me, because I don't know how long I'm going to be on live. But deep what he's saying, bro. Deep everything he's actually said. Because I don't think you're actually deep in what he's saying. Listen to what he... Listen. Don't just hear and listen to what he's saying.
How do you judge the rich getting richer? I judge it on things that used to be free, things that we used to have all the time, actual day-to-day quality of life. Parks closing, libraries closing.
So taking away the sense of community, parks and libraries are closing. The sense of the community for the black community was the youth clubs and was the community events that we do. Also carnivals. They tried to mash up our carnivals as well. But now what's the point of community, sense of community? Parks and libraries, community spaces, getting rid of community spaces. I even remember swimming used to be like £1 or £2 for kids. My mum used to pay.
Holes that are older than me, you know? These are things that shouldn't be happening, but, you know, the price of everything seems to be going up. You have less and less money to less and less disposable income.
So basically, you're only working to live. You're only working to survive. Like everything you're doing, you're just surviving. You're in survival mode. You have nothing. You can't do nothing apart from be a slave. So now you're a slave. If you understand what he's saying, you're a slave. We're all slaves. Literally.
While everything else is getting worse. Taxes are increasing. None of this makes sense. And the country's so broken that it's hard to even really see a way out of this. You know, my number one way out for me, if I was...
Hold on. That is a brilliant point. K1 just said, yeah, do we need to do more? So we need to do more and not turn these community-based events as an excuse to get drunk at a party. Now that is the perfect... Bro, that is perfect. That whole statement is perfect. Now, man them, we already know that Gen Z aren't drinking as much anymore. We know Gen Z have left at the party because they can't even afford it. They can't afford it. That's the real reason, let's be honest. So now, take these people and tell them why they can't afford it. Like, get together, fuck off the drinking and partying. Your goal isn't to be able to drink and party no more. That's not your goal, yeah? Your goal is looking at, yo, this is some fuckery. Let's pattern. What are you gonna pattern? Like I said, you follow the bread. I want an audit. I want an audit. Every single government should be able to deliver an audit at the end of the year, just like every other business person and taxpayer in this country. They should be given the UK an audit, and it's not a thing where I think I'm talking too crazy for TikTok. TikTok don't like me, but nah, I love TikTok, man. I love TikTok shop. I love TikTok, but man said I can't actually say that. That's crazy. Man's got censored. Did you just see that? I actually got censored. They said I'm not allowed to get any gifts for 10 minutes. Just talking about this, and this is just literally normal conversation. Man said can't say what? You want me to say it again? What a joke, man.
Absolute power, because forget getting into government, because you're gonna upset people. If I was a dictator of the UK.
Okay, so we got Mr. Dictator Tankz. Yes, and this is what I was saying. I love being able to learn from people that are quote unquote a little bit more read up on you on the situations, because that's how you learn, that's how you grow, by listening to people that know more than you. And Tankz is quite a very he's a very well-read individual. He's had a lot of life experience due to him not being a slave to survival. He had a lot of freedom. So he's able to experience a lot more things a lot more earlier than people would experience later on in their life. So he has a lot of life experience, and he's he does his research from what I see. Obviously, sometimes people's personalities and personal emotions get involved, and then they sway. But bro, that's every human, bro. That's not even a bad thing. That's just humans, innit? Like, it is what it is. You need to learn to accept it and how put man back on the path. You get me? But yeah, he's just well spoken. He just understands what he's talking about. And I wanted to originally, the UK is getting West every year, here's why. So he's reacting to a video that I seen. I wanted to react to that video. But then I was gonna do a short, you know how I usually get clips and show clips and whatever. But because it was an 8-minute video, I was like, how am I gonna do this? And then I see my man react, because I didn't watch it for a couple of days, because I wanted to watch it fresh, innit, with fresh eyes. And then a couple of days later, my man posted. I was like, hey, all right, cool. You've posted the reaction, so I watched the reaction now, and then I was like, nah. Man has to react to this one still. So I thought, let me just react to it. I didn't realize it was 30 minutes long. I thought it was like 20. So I thought, okay, my video is gonna be about 40 minutes long. Yeah, I'll do it in 2 parts. Blood, I got 6 minutes in. I was 40 minutes recorded already. So I was like, yeah, nah. I cut it into 4 parts and then just did a live stream today. But as you can see, how many episodes? I'm only 2 minutes in now. We've been on for an hour, I believe. We've been on for how long? 28 minutes. But yeah, cool, let's go.
Absolute power of the UK. First thing I'm saying is, okay, birth rates. And I had absolute power of the UK. You're gonna upset people. If I was a dictator of the UK.
Okay.
And I had absolute power of the UK.
Yeah.
First thing I'm saying is, okay, birth rates. Birth rates, we are below replacement.
Oh, perfect time. Birth rates are down to replacement because people are scared to have children. So essentially, they just need to bring prices of houses down.
And step number 1, we need people to have kids. We need people here in this country to start having children. How would I do that? Now, I wouldn't give women more money, because that doesn't work. Clearly that's not doing anything. What I would do,
yeah. So let me just make sure I'm actually reacting to what he actually said and not what I thought he said.
People here in this country to start having children. How would I do that? Now, I wouldn't give women more money, because that...
So he wouldn't give women more money. And when he says that, he don't just mean every gal, like, because you're a gal and not getting no bread. That's not what he means. He means he's not going to be subsidizing single parents. So single parents, you getting pregnant is your responsibility. So if you decide to get pregnant with somebody that you're not able to rely on to help you survive this new person you're bringing on, that burden shouldn't be everyone else's, and it's be yours. So don't get yourself in shit to get everyone else in shit, basically. And I hear it. So don't reward bad behavior. What is he gonna do?
That doesn't work. Clearly that's not doing anything. What I would do, my first course of action would be, okay, to encourage marriage again. We need the foundation of society again. Foundation, marriage. It's not...
Okay, so now my man's talking about the real stuff, the nuclear family. So this is just another vector at which I don't even want to call them elites, because that basically says that I think they're better than me. I don't think they're better than me. These are some demons, bro. That's what you got to call them. That's what they are, man. They're exhibiting demonic behavior and energy and enacting the will, demonic will. So these demons, they basically destroy the nuclear family. So a lot of the stuff that is interesting, I said interesting, hold on. I just got a glimpse of my screen and I think I have to fix something quick. Just fixing the spacing out because yeah, it's just one of them ones, fuck it. So they destroy the nuclear family basically by making men and women hate each other. So instead of us actually being able to love and continue that human connection and just find something you love and actually be invested in something, they make it very difficult by separating the man and women, making them beef all the time. And I'm pretty sure he has more to say.
Coincidence, society's collapsed right now, and marriage for people in my generation is a joke. You know, if you say you're getting married, it's like, are you joking, bro? Like,
it's very true. Like, men don't want a wife a hoe, bro. It's literally that. Men don't want a wife a hoe, and women wanna get married to very high-end individuals. I think that's starting to die now. I definitely think that started to die over the past 2 years. But what the main issue is that men are become more feminine because they are unable to get girls in their natural masculine. So they think they either have to be super masculine or they just revert into themselves and become docile, become gamers, become introverts, because they think, oh, it's too hard, I'm not going to be able to do it. Because back in the day and nobody else had to do anything like that. It was just literally, you just like me. But now social media basically brainwashing people into thinking that there's only one archetype that is available and that archetype is the only one that must be met. Whereas really and truly, that's literally just a very small percentage of the population, and a lot of people won't even like that lifestyle. So sometimes you just have to just look at things for, okay, that happens, and then just kind of keep it stay core. But again, they messed up the nuclear family, so a lot of the foundations and the morals that men and women used to have don't have their kids don't have them anymore, because society's corrupted them with a lot of groupthink, a lot of these psyops, a lot of social media brainwashing and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to overcome.
Why would you get married in this generation? You know, even though it makes the most sense because living together. But my first thing before we react to this documentary, guys, would be to encourage people to get married and say married couples with kids.
Yeah, this is what a lot of dictatorships actually do. You know, they actually encourage marriage. So even UAE does it. But these a lot of the Arabic countries reward them. I'm pretty sure even Libya was doing it. Gaddafi did it when he was the supreme ruler, dictator of his country. But little though the country was worth the most it was ever worth, and all of the citizens were living in utopia because kids didn't have to pay from school from the child up the way until being after university. Families were rewarded for having children by actually giving rewarded bread. But you had to be a family. You had to both be parents living in a home together, looking after the kids. You know what I'm saying? That was the law. If you are married and have children, then the government gives you money. That is what the Arab countries do. Whereas the UK, if you have a kid, you get bread. if you have a child, you're gonna get this much support from us. So that's taking the man out of the room and then making the government the dad. So the government's agenda is much different to the dad's agenda. And now that's why your child has no morals, because you didn't let the dad do his job. And a lot of the cases, a lot of the men didn't want to do the job too. So it's kind of a big problem. But again, like I said, both of you are both men and women are getting hit with bricks, bro. They're hitting us with bricks every vector, bro. Left, right, up, down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta slip a couple of them, but blood, it's hard. It's hard enough, life.
Every child you have, first of all, make mortgages more affordable. Duh. Marry couples with kids.
Yeah, make houses more
Every
affordable.
child you have, you get 15% taken off your mortgage completely.
15%
and on
taken
top
off.
of that,
All right.
Wow.
15% taken off of your mortgage. Okay, let's do a calculation to see actually how much how would that help right now, yeah? Because obviously this is Dictator Tankz telling us what he would do. So average house price, what's the average house? I might as well do it on the computer so you lot can see, innit? Let me do it on the computer so you lot can see. How much is the average UK house price? Where's the AI answer? Wait. House prices have shown an annual price decrease of almost 8, meaning the average price of a property is 551,000. Wow. Wow. That's expensive. Because the yards like a couple years, like last year, yards were like 350, bro. So 550,000, I don't think that's gonna be enough. I don't think 50% is gonna do anything. 551,000, 15% of 500. So 82k. So it could be spending basically still $500,000. Yeah, I don't think that's going to do anything at all. I think what needs to happen is government just needs to make houses cheaper. So they need to make the cost of a house, like running a house, having a house cheaper, because obviously what a lot of people don't understand is there's with everything you do with your money, you either use your money to make a liability or an asset. Yeah, assets on one side is what makes you money, so these things actually bring money back to you, and liabilities are things you just spend on and they don't add any money back into your pocket. Yeah, so by having more assets than liabilities, that's how you end up becoming free. Yeah, because now you're earning money without sleeping, because you own things that make money rather than how you having to make money yourself. Yeah, so that's how you become free. A lot of property investors use property to become free. So they will have money either from having good credit, family, pool loans, so like friends and family investing money in. They might have a donor, they might know somebody that's rich, or yeah, they might just have good credit and just get a yard. So that's what some people would do. I lost my train of thought now. Damn. 80,000. Oh yeah, so by people buying houses, that they're making more assets, and that's how they choose to become free, right? So it has to make a profit, plus you have to run living costs, but houses are really expensive. So plumber, roof, bathroom, electrics, garden, roof, all of these things cost a lot of money and upkeep and stuff, yeah? And that's what causes houses maintenance to be so high. So that's what's causing the rent to be so high, because it costs so much to make the house. For me to make money back on my investment, and I need to do rent for this much, but the rent's more than a paycheck than a person can afford. So realistically, house prices need to decrease, and by making houses decrease, obviously that's just giving money more to the people. But it's more about either they'd have to have a scheme where they just lend money to everyone to buy a house. or they actually just drop the prices down by literally making everything cheaper. So reimburse the people that have already lost, so like clear their debt by however many years they've been in the debt, so clear it substantially, and then reduce prices of everything. That's the only way. They have to make the expense of running a house lower in order for the rent of a house going lower to make sense, because 500,000 is the average price of a UK house. That is absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Shit then.
Make raising the child as easy as possible and make it basically. Right now, there's a lot. People are taking advantage of government assistance in this country. It's really bad. You see everyone with a disabled badge, everyone on PIP with a PIP card, the mobility scheme. It is absolutely out of control. Instead of directing that there, direct it to people who want to build the foundation of society again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro, he's chatting sense, bro. This is what I mean. Like, the only thing so far I disagree with is giving 15%. Like, that's not a solution. That's not going to do nothing. That's not even a dent, man. If my numbers are correct.
Let people be in a position to where the wife don't need to work.
Yeah.
That's what it would do. It would encourage, because a lot of people who are married, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain if your wife don't have to work, she's not gonna work.
Yeah,
you know, she's not gonna.
Bro, it's facts, bro. Ask any gal, bro, blood, if you never had to work again. Ask any man, if I never had to work again, would I work? They'd say no. They probably end up still working eventually, but they would say, nah, I'd rather not do it. A woman, bro, ask a woman the same thing. She's not on it, bro. She don't want to work. Who the fuck wants to fucking work, bro? Unless you're doing something you actually care about. Who actually wants to do stuff they don't want to do? Who wants to do something you don't want to do? Nobody does. So 65% of the UK are homeowners. That's the reason. Well, is that facts though? We have to fact check on this show, yeah? How much percentage UK are homeowners? Right, as of 2024, approximately 64 to 5% of households in the UK are homeowners. 35% of those who own the home are right. Oh, wow. So this is a bit. So there's 35% that are upper England, and then you've got 65% that are middle England. So UK right now is 65% middle England, 35% upper England, and what percentage is left? 65. Oh, that's 40s. So no, 35%. So 30% are middle England. Fair enough. Fair enough. You've got more lower England than you do middle England right now, but I feel like lower England are too demoralised.
Work if she doesn't have to work. Breed the conditions for that. If people are going to keep on taking welfare, set that up, you know. But anyway, let's react to this video here, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you would do. If you were the dictator of the UK, how would you get things fixed, you know? Because I wouldn't care about being liked. I really wouldn't give a damn about being liked. I'd be like, guys, the population's about to go extinct. Like, I don't give a damn if you are...
That's only Western countries, though. When people say that, I don't know why they don't specify. No one ever specifies, but globally, the world population is not going down. It's only European countries where the population is fucking up. In the Middle East, the population is increasing dramatically. In Africa, the population is increasing dramatically. The population, apart from like some of the purges that they've done in Nigeria and stuff, the population's always growing, bro. Yeah, but being a dictator of the UK, he asked me what would I do? What would I do? I would definitely 100% agree with him about rewarding families. So what I would probably do is, like I said, I'd either take the property off of the landlords and then shot them to the public for a proper price, and then obviously expunged the landlord's debt from what they incurred from the ridiculous prices. And then yeah, like I said, an audit every year of the British government spending should be provided every year for every single thing they do, every sector of society. So the roads, the bins, everything. Even schools, like everything, audit. How much money, where's the money going every single year? And then obviously now, for example, the people that do the roads, people obviously get crap companies, which are usually the politician's friends company, to basically do the job that the council is supposed to do, and then do it for dirt cheap and then split the bread. So what they would need to do is give, we would actually find the best person for the job, so that the chances of potholes become near minimal to zero. So we'd actually invest into science. So you'd actually invest into science to make better roads. How are we going to make better roads that last 100 years? That's what you would invest in. So all that money that is just being spent just to be siphoned off would be invested in research and development into us making roads that last X amount of years. Once that's provided, test it in small cities, do it quickly, let it run for a couple of years, see how that goes. Obviously, in the meantime, fix the roads how they are. And then after 5 years, if that road's patterned, then boom, roll it out. If it lasts that 5 years or however X many years you say is going to last, obviously during those 5 years, you're going to still be improving it, right? So once you get that improved version now, boom, you roll it out across the whole country, make the whole roads better. And you'd probably even restructure the roads, because right now they take our road tax and then lock off more of the roads to make them into pedestrian walking spaces or pedestrian areas. And it's like, bro, I pay road tax to drive, and you're making my driving experience worse because you don't fix nothing and you're locking off the routes for me to get to where I want to go. So you're wasting my bread, bro. That's what you're doing. You're wasting my fucking money, bro.
So
yeah, that's what I do. Audit every year, and then invest in sciences to make things last longer, better, etc. So that things become cheaper, so that we don't have to spend no money on it, because obviously the government provides the money. And then yeah, you just be stopping the wealth extraction. Stop the wealth extraction and allow the money to basically generate more in the community in the UK. Why do they keep locking off my flipping? Yeah. Oxford's got 15-minute cities. I don't know why this thing, whenever I talk about audits and stuff, they keep locking off my live. This note is unclear, I'm so sure I got these restrictions. Yeah. But anyway, let's go.
Don't care, bro. We need to buck up our ideas and start this. But this is made by an Australian news company. It's going to be interesting to see their perspective on things, because I know a few men who've moved to Australia. No pun intended. But a few men who've moved to Australia, they're all white. No surprise there. But they've all moved to Australia, and they seem to be loving it out there. You know, I don't know why. Everyone tells me I need to go to Australia. My uncle loves going to Australia. He goes there like every year. I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me that. Maybe I should.
Nah, Australia is good because it's got a lot of... Wait, what the fuck? Where's my... Okay. Yeah, Australia is good because it's got a lot of construction opportunities. So you can become a millionaire in like 5 years just by basically building up the foundations in like some mud hut. And like they'll probably pay for your education while you're out there as well. So it is quite a good opportunity. If you're looking for a location other than Dubai, then it's a good place for you to go. Yeah, if you're looking for a good place other than Dubai, or if you're looking for non-Arab countries, Australia would be good, because in terms of money creation, you can create money there quite easy. Obviously, in the Arab countries, you've got property where you can create money, and then in Australia, you have the construction opportunities to make money there. So it's all well and good. Man said, yeah, I can see your messages still. 50-minute cities in Oxford, they've got one rolling out soon. I do have a video coming on that, so just bear with me.
you could not save a penny. Even if you save it, something comes up, or you find every week your shopping's getting dearer. You live in Antoneuse, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the price of things are insane now, guys. Like, let me, just anything, just everything. I'll look at the price of, for example, okay, I was out with my sister yesterday, all right? And, cool, I wanted Shake Shack, but she was like, I'll go to McDonald's, and she'll get McDonald's instead and come back because she felt like McDonald's, bro. And, bro, the price difference, like, we got near enough the same items, you know what I mean? And she paid £12 in McDonald's. I paid £16 in Shake Shack. Why on earth would I go to McDonald's when it's for £4 more? I get better quality, more premium product. I don't know. Like, the price of things just doesn't make sense anymore. Nothing makes sense. It's like, wow, petrol being £1.60 a litre, that's normal now. For unleaded, that's normal. Like, that's the new norm now. Like, what? When was this the norm? What, just because of the Strait of Hormuz? But BP's making record profits? What? None of this makes sense.
For almost 14 million people, this is the harsh reality of life in the United Kingdom. It's
the uncollected bins, but the council tax going up. We can all relate to that.
a country where the poor are getting poorer.
We are, the sixth richest country in the world, and we've...
That is complete bullshit. We are, but let me tell you this, okay? A lot of these councils are bankrupt. I did a video on it. A lot of these councils are bankrupt because they're repaying interest on bad loans. Like, they took out loans to do projects. The projects obviously flopped because the money was just being siphoned off. And they're paying these things back, what they call, not liable loans.
Yeah, I explained what siphoning was in my previous
I don't think
video.
it's liable.
Siphoning is when, for example, a politician, let's say, use the example of potholes. So somebody, the chief of road infrastructure in the government, they are given a budget every year to basically sort out the roads. They organize it. They basically organize of each council to say how much money they're going to spend every this year on doing what road tasks, etc. So he's been given X amount of money to basically make this happen. So obviously you can either pay a private company to do it, or you can employ government workers to do it. What this chief does of the road infrastructure does, he might have a friend that is a road infrastructure company. So he's like, okay, how much can you do it for? And then he will quote a very high price. And then what they'll do is they'll spend the least amount of money they possibly can, and then the rest of that money they'll split it between them. So the chief has the money, and his friend that has the company has the other half, and then the least amount was spent on basically doing the road work. And that's what siphoning is. So if you ever hear anyone saying siphoning, that is what siphoning is. So it's broad day robbery. But yeah,
I think there's something else, but there's certain loans that banks, I think Barclays was the biggest one, that were giving to councils, and the terms are just terrible. The terms are pretty much, Barclays can up the interest rate to whatever rate they want, and that's leading to
facts. The most of the companies that get those government contracts are new startup companies. Yeah, literally.
Councils having to cut services and increase council tax because they're busy paying off these loans that they have to pay off for projects that are non-existent, that failed, bad investments. There was one council that invested like £500 million into a solar farm, and every year it doesn't even cost them £500 million to run the council. That's like 3-4 times their annual budget.
They just took £500 million. Because yeah, solar panels are expensive, but if you spent £500 million on solar panels, you'd be able to spend you'd be able to power the whole of the UK and more. Scotland, Wales. You might even be able to power some European countries if they spent that much money on just solar panels and the science to make it better and increase it. But they don't do that. They don't care about science. So any science they care about is germ warfare.
And they've invested, they've taken out a loan on to start a project. Do you see the issue here? That's why.
Got parents skipping meals so that can ensure that children get fed.
Like, why is that happening? Why are parents skipping meals when supermarkets throw food out? It doesn't make sense. Why is Greggs, everybody loves Greggs. Why is Greggs now having to downsize and be inside petrol stations when there's so much unused retail space?
And a divisive populist movement promising to pull old Blighty out of its rut is rapidly gaining momentum.
This government is deep in crisis.
People have lost patience with the political establishment in this country. They will...
Blood. The political establishment is more than just Labour. Is all of you lot. All of you lot have the same master. So you're gonna do the same shit. You care about the same stuff. So the stuff that's fucking us over, you're gonna keep the stuff. You're gonna continue to do it. But the stuff that doesn't affect us, that's what you'll change.
Do we really think Reform UK is gonna win? Do we really? I think.
Yeah, the UK is a. The UK can see the future because it copies America. So how America just went, the anti-establishment guy Trump. Trump was a borderline dictator, but then he got reeled in. He got compromised, and now he's acting the way he's acting, doing the madness that you're just like, what the fuck. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
What, is local elections coming up? Let me see. I think on the May... let me not even say the date, because then I might give away my location. Okay, I've got my VPN on, so I can't. But yeah, local elections. I'm voting... you know who I'm voting for, guys? You guys want to know who I'm voting for? I'm voting for Ian or Elaine. I think I'm going to vote for Elaine. If you know, you know.
Let's see who Elaine is, because I want to know if he's joking or if he's being serious. Based on Elaine is as it refers to Elaine Williams, a Reform UK politician set to become the leader of Walsall Council in May 2026. Other references include Elaine's London A-Bar, Elaine being a singer. Elaine Williams, Reform. Elaine Ruth Williams, damn. So this is who Tankz is voting for. I swear I've seen her before and she wasn't Reform. I'm sure I've seen this one before and she was not Reform. Yeah, that's weird. I don't believe it. UK elections. Election results live. So I missed it. I don't pay attention because both of them, like I said, they're both my ops, so I don't vote for either. I don't vote for anyone. A general election, when's the most recent election? UK elections, most recent. The significance of 2026 elections. How Britain is governed is a question. Across software, numbers. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to go TikTok for this, because it's too much reading.
The elections are over, so who won and who lost? Well, it's clear Reform UK is the big winner in England and Labour the loser. But there's still dozens of results yet to be declared. Results from England's local elections are trickling in though, and they're building a picture. Reform, which had very few seats to lose, has won hundreds, while Labour, which had the most to lose, has lost hundreds. Although some are claiming it's not as bad as expected. The Tories have also suffered critical losses, while the Greens and the Lib Dems have picked up dozens of seats, but they will be hoping to pick up more. Complete results from Scotland and Wales won't come till Friday evening, and depending on what they are, it could be days before we know who'll form the government. Nigel Farage has already claimed it's a historic shift in British politics, while Keir Starmer has accepted voters have sent him a message he insists he won't be walking away. Much more.
What do you mean? You say voters have sent you as a message and you insist you won't be walking away, but what the fuck is that, bro? We sent you a message, so message not received, clearly, because you didn't say you're gonna improve nothing or what you're gonna do. You just said you won't be walking away, so it means I'm gonna still do what I want, bitch. So you have to listen to what the people say, you know.
I'm voting for Elaine.
Something different. The leadership in Downing Street has to change.
I will never walk away from the mandate I was given to change this country.
Shut up, blood. You know who this guy reminds me of? He reminds me of Wallace and Gromit, blood.
We've travelled to England's north to investigate whether Britain is broken and if it can be fixed.
Why are these buildings empty?
Hull, a working-class coastal city in England's northeast. About half of the 200,000 residents here live in state housing, including Kirsty Murray. She's lived in this small terrace for almost a decade with her teenage son, who has a disability.
You know what it is? About a year and a half ago, I made a video where it was, I forgot what area they were in, but it's like, as someone from London, like, people getting onto me, people were saying like, oh, what do you mean you've not seen poor white people in the UK before? And it's like, oh, there's this guy. It's like, yeah, from the ends where I grew up, like, yeah, you've got a couple white guys. Yeah, okay, you do. You have some, and in certain areas, different parts of London, you do. But where I grew up, bro, the only white people I would see growing up in northwest London, Harlesden, was middle-class white people, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't really growing up, so it was...
What you have to remember, yeah, is white people are more the percentage of the country. So any statistic in regards to, if you're talking about volume, they're always going to be more. Percentages obviously might differ, but if you're talking about volume, like in actual numbers, it's going to be more white people because they're more of the country.
It's a new thing to me when I turned like 18, around that age, you know what I mean? Which is not that long ago. When I turned 18, that's when I started realizing like, oh, you know, there's, you know what I mean? So yeah, it took me a few years to see that part of life, you know?
I'd say the past 2 years, it's been hell. Because obviously we had COVID.
Even the primary school I went to, bro. All of my
I feel like if you're in a party, yeah, you're not allowed to change your party. If you're an MP of a party, you should be allowed to change for like 10 years. I generally think you should be locked into your party because you're gonna just change party to the winning party and then do the same fuck you was doing from the losing party. It doesn't make no sense. Like, people do not pay no attention. It doesn't make any sense. How is that sense? You pick this party because you believe in their mission, so stay with them. It doesn't make any sense, and the voting of this country doesn't make any sense either. It shouldn't be the majority of people in each road. It should be the majority of the country. The majority of the country should have say, not the majority of the cities around the country. That's less volume. Again, that's how they skew statistics. If you ever hear people say statistic and it's only percentages, but then they don't tell you the conflicting or the comparative statistic with the volume 2, meaning the number, rather than just the percentage, they're chatting shit. It's false information. But no, people shouldn't be seeing no opportunity. It shouldn't be allowed. Because if you're just doing fuckery in Labour, now you move to Reform, that means Reform is full of the people that was doing fuckery in Labour. So now you're just going to do fuckery in Reform.
My friends, like
This is why I didn't vote. This reason. This exact reason I didn't vote. Because
their parents...
It just doesn't make any sense, bro. It just doesn't make any sense. Why am I... Like, I'm voting for no reason.
What, upper middle class? You know what I mean? They're still in the same yards today. Like, they were upper middle class. You know, that's what I grew up really around.
And then you couldn't get a lot of things. And then on top of that, it's no cost of living. Like, I can't go to like a food bank and rely on food from them because he's on a restricted diet.
We need to remember as well, you know, in the UK, the history of the UK, bro, people who've been working class, us, most of us watching working class. Yeah, I mean, these are the best conditions in history that the working class British have had, you know.
Okay, it's the best conditions in history, but the level of suffering is the same. So it's like suffering back then. You were suffering with no heating, but now you're suffering with a heater in your yard that you can't use because you can't afford the heating. So yeah, the conditions are tenfold better, at least 10 times better, but the suffering is the same. And it's because the same people that got revolted against, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say these words because TikTok keep hitting me with a brick. They're gonna just stay prevalent, bro.
If you look at history, bro, I mean, if this was back in the day, what? I mean, I wouldn't be here. First of all, I'd be under colonial rule. But it wouldn't be you colonial ruling me, by the way. It would. I mean, you'd be probably in a chimney at 5 years old.
I'm about to say chimney. I need to hear what you say because that's funny.
Full bang.
Bro, people who've been working class, most of us watching working class, yeah, I mean, these are the best conditions in history that the working class British have had. You know, if you look at history, bro, I mean, if this was back in the day, what? I mean, I wouldn't be here. First of all, I'd be under colonial rule.
Oh,
but
yeah. So
it wouldn't be you
you'd
colonial
be
ruling me, by the way. It would. I mean, you'd be probably in a chimney at 5 years old. You get what I'm saying?
Sometimes where you're worried that you won't be able to afford food for you and your son.
There's been times when I've gone without just to make sure that he's been alright, because he's my priority.
That's crazy, like, that's mad, like, these conditions ain't foreign to me, innit? But the fact it's a documentary now, bro, people are, yeah, like, they're in a comfy prison, bro. They're suffering in a nice house.
As long as he's fed, I'm not bothered.
The bitterly cold English winters are particularly hard.
Generally,
how expensive heating is, everything going up non-stop. The bills never come down, always go up.
The rule, I do put my heating on because we've got blankets. If it gets that cold, we'll bring quilts down, or we'll just literally sit in our beds and watch telly.
This area is considered the 6th poorest in the United Kingdom.
Whoa.
And the residents can come in here and take 4 different items once a week for £1.
Jan Boyd has run this local food bank for almost a decade and says she's never seen things this bad.
Probably over 50% of children in the area are living below the poverty line. So if you're below the poverty line, you're not going to be able to heat your houses, and then you've got ongoing health issues as a result of living in cold homes.
And
we as an organisation shouldn't exist.
I know you guys have heard this how many times, but you know.
You have to give out the food when the companies that have this have billions and millions, bro. And they're just upping the price on you for no reason. Because they're taking more money out, so they just want more money from you. It's getting done to you, innit? It's not just happening to you. It's getting done to you.
You know what? Screw it. Let's give money to this war and that war. You know, let's let America use their military bases to go.
UK just used 25 mil for Defence League, bro. For private security in the UK for 2 people that got attacked. But there's more than 25 million people that are suffering in the UK that can't afford to heat their homes. But you're giving 25 million to people because 2 of them got attacked. That's crazy for security. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And do spy missions. Instead of it just shows you where the priorities are at, you know?
An organisation shouldn't exist. We should not need to be here, and our partners around the city shouldn't need to be here, because people should be able to heat their homes and feed their children.
The latest census revealed 21% of people across the UK are living in poverty. Without London, the UK's GDP would be lower than that of the US's poorest state.
That's what people always keep saying.
Mississippi.
That's what people say, oh, look, if you could...
Damn. Man said if you take London out, UK's poorer than America's smallest state. Because the UK as a whole is like roughly the size of a small state in America. So there's only right to think that we should be earning as much as that state, right? Only London. The rest of the UK is fucked. Don't make no money.
Per GDP in London, the UK would be lower than America's poorest state, bro. But yeah, you live a much better quality of life in London than you do in freaking Mississippi. Mississippi, bro. Mississippi. Have you seen Mississippi, bro?
Mississippi, bro. Man, don't really know geography like that, but I know America is not a nice place, innit? Like, they don't have as much government support as we do. So, like, we got the NHS and stuff, but they have to pay insurance. They might get some leverances on prices and stuff, but they still have to pay. Whereas us, if we can't afford it, we still get looked after. Whereas America, if you can't afford it, you're gonna get killed. Or a lot of people, they have a little bit of money in America, then they get ill, and then they become bankrupt because they spent all the money on America. It's healthcare.
Can you even say Mississippi? Come on, bro. In London, one thing that you can appreciate in London is it's much easier to have a work-life balance here. You know, if you're in the middle of nowhere in Mississippi, bro, what job you getting in London, bro? If you really need to hustle quickly, you know, you can go snatch some phones. Go snatch some phones, or be the good guy and then do some Uber ride deliveries, you know what I mean? And then you can chill by the River Thames. You can go, if you're from deep west, you can walk along the River Thames, you know, like, there's so many things.
In Mississippi, you're going to need a car. You can't just walk in America. America's too big. Their cities and their states are just spread out so far. You need a whip. Apart from barring New York, New York's the only place that's really like interconnected and knotted in. But all these other countries, all these other cities and states, bro, spread out.
Things you can do, bro. But compared to Mississippi, there's no infrastructure. You know, and I think that's what part of the London tax, what you're paying for. It's the infrastructure, bro. It's the fact that right now, me being, I can go anywhere. I can do. There's good infrastructure. There's pavements everywhere. You know, there's shops everywhere. You know, there's cameras everywhere. You're paying for that. You know?
Yeah.
So you used to constantly tell audiences about.
Literally, we're paying for them to make us spend more money. So they put cameras everywhere for us to get caught for doing anything wrong, so they can fine us. And then they take our money from tax to lock off all the shortcuts on the road to make you have to drive one way, so there's much more traffic, and then you end up burning much more petrol, so you need to fill up your tank on much more quicker, because that shortcut that you knew 10 years ago is now one way, or it's a public pedestrian pathway, pedestrian park, pedestrian space. And it's like, who told you to do that?
Stuart McAnally is a politics professor at the University of Leeds.
So there was a feeling that in the 1980s, a lot of the economic steps that were taken then, which a lot of people felt privileged the interests of finance in the centre of London, tax cuts that tended to favour the already affluent.
1980s. What happened in the 1980s? Margaret Thatcher was the government leader of the government, Conservative government, intense industrial conflict, key political issues. Thatcherism. Margaret Thatcher served as Prime Minister for the entire decade, promoting privatisation and deregulation the financial sector. Okay. Deindustrialization. Deindustrialization, the decline of traditional industries like mining and shipbuilding, caused significant unemployment, which exceeded 1.5 million by 1980s and hit double figures for much of a decade. So let's see how much of a percentage was how much of the UK population was unemployed during Thatcherism. Unemployment, Thatcher era, rose sharply, speak of 3 million. Oh, damn! 11.9 of the workforce. Doubled from 5.3. Oh, shit. So 11%, yeah? So then how much of the UK population is unemployed today? So 11%, yeah? Which is like 3 million people. 1.7 million people employed. Total unemployment rate with male employment being fucked. What? Just tell me how much. 1.7 decrease. 206,000 has gone over. So, okay. So it's about as bad as Thatcherism at the start. A little bit worse. But not as peak. But in terms of percentage, I think it's 4.9. Oh no, wait. 9. Yeah, so 4.9%. Okay, so it's nowhere near as high in percentage, but volume-wise, it's a bit worse.
And meantime, underinvestment in parts of the north.
In the 1970s, the UK's man.
You know, what's crazy is like, look, we'll look back at this and just think, bro, my man probably had enough money to support 2 families.
Yeah,
back
they
then.
did. They
doing
did close down.
Doing 5 days a week.
Sorry, K1. Yeah. Our councils have discounts for home ownership. I think Margaret Thatcher had, but the access is also okay. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at what he said. People see opportunity. It seems better because everyone has access, but it's access that is harming. So I do agree. For example, working class all have phones and what? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like what is on the internet. It's not the fact that there is internet. I think it's what's on internet and how phones are designed. Like, phones are designed for you to actually stay on the platform for as long as possible. There's actually a documentary on Netflix about it. I've watched it. I'm pretty sure you've probably seen it or heard about it. Married that one guy on YouTube. But I don't believe that just the fact that it's a phone. So my reason for not wanting kids to have phones is because of what it's designed. It's designed for you to be addicted to it and not on it, and then brain rot, and then watch your life pass you by rather than actually being a participant in life, you know what I'm saying? Walking down your path. But I think Margaret Thatcher helped. So she helped during the unemployment rate in the 1980s. Council house discounts for home ownership. Our coal and natural resources were closed down. Short from content. I don't know what you mean by that one, but yeah, no, everything you're saying is sense still. If I could go live with you at the same time, I would have went live still.
He probably had enough money to support 2 families, bro. His main wife, his main one didn't know about, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah,
back
then, only one person needed to work, you know. So that means someone's at home looking after Pitney them, teaching them life lessons, making them actually be raised how you want your child to be raised, rather than you hardly get to spend any time with them. Because both of you have to work. Whereas in the 1980s, like just before the 1980s was Thatcherism, because there was such high paying roles in industrial. That's what Australia's like now. So they have construction business and companies that is really booming right now. And like in between under 10 years, 5 years of working a job, you could become a millionaire, like live a good life over there. But right now here, they made it so that you need 2 parents to work. So
boy, both of them will be calling you while you're at work, and you've got to FaceTime them while you're doing this.
In the 1970s, the UK's manufacturing made up 30% of the country's GDP.
That is insane. That is... What's that now?
Looks like we need to bring back manufacturing.
But throughout the 80s, under Prime Minister Margaret
Thatcher, this terrorist, okay? She's a terrorist, bro. She's a domestic... I think it's time to start calling Margaret Thatcher what she is, a domestic terrorist, bro. I think it's time. And also, the disdain I have for this woman is because I'm Grenadian, obviously, and she did fuck all when America invaded us and killed Morris Bishop. She didn't do nothing, bro. She just stood there with her tail between her... With no tail. Just stood there and did nothing, bro. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? This woman, what have you done? What have you done? Like, steel was 30% of British GDP. Where's the steel? Where's the steel mines? Where's the production? It doesn't produce anything anymore. She wanted to transition into a services economy. Finance, everybody getting degrees. Yeah. The problem is, you need you've got the services, but you ain't got the production. So what are they servicing? They're servicing nothing.
Yeah. This is, I think I've started to consolidate my thoughts now. Just listening to what he said now in terms of services and stuff, because previously I was thinking about the science that we use. So for example, I used the example of the potholes in the roads. So if I was a dictator, then I would take the money out of just basically getting split with people's political friends and actually invest the money in the science, how to make concrete or road, how to make a better road, how to make a road that lasts 10, 15 years. We don't have to dig it up, or we could easily open it up and do anything easy that doesn't disrupt the road more than for 2 hours or 3 hours when people are sleeping, you know? That's how I would do, invest in the science and innovation, and that would bring back industries and make the quality of life cheaper. But because people want to extract the money that would be used for these developments and then hoard it and take it out of circulation, that's the reason why we're in this predicament right now, because the money that is made is enough for us to all survive, but people taking it out of the game. People are taking the money out of the game.
Yeah, much of that industry moved offshore.
Yeah, she literally...
So there's actually more money in circulation than ever before, but we have less than we've ever had before. Does that make sense? So say, for example, there's 10. Say, for example, there was 10 pieces of money, yeah? We used to have 4, they had 6. Now, money's 100. They have 94, we still have 6. Do you get it? It's crazy.
Oh, bro.
Today, it's just 8%.
And that's what inflation is, where they take the money out of circulation. So the money that they printed, they're just taking it out of the game. So it's like, where are we gonna make? How are we gonna get it to pay for it if it's not in the game anymore? You just have to make more. So now we just pay debt to pay debt to pay debt to pay debt to pay debt. It's like having constant credit cards back to back. And you're just taking the money out of the game, like it's not getting in circulation. It's just crazy.
UK's economy.
Insane.
There are other factors that have contributed to Britain's standard of living decline and the increase in poverty. UK productivity growth has slowed significantly since the 2008 market.
Yeah, productivity, because you wanted to transition to services, and you know, we've got so much space, you've got abandoned buildings, but you've got people living in house shares. That is a problem. Then the reason this building has to stay like that is because of planning permission. Oh, you have to go get planning permission. Even my neighbours on my road, fam, they got some work done and it took them so long to get the planning permission, you know, because they're like, come and ask you, you have the right to object. Like, if I wanted to be a wanker, I could just block them from doing their house up. Why? You know, that's just all these outdated things, you know, that...
That's something that definitely I would do as a dictator. I'll turn all the abandoned apartments, all the places that are not being occupied or have not been occupied in a certain amount of time, turn them into houses. Then that way the prices will go down because there's more houses. And you don't actually have to invest more money into the houses because they're already there.
Slow things down. Business rates, things such as business rates, all these taxes, you know, because the UK needs money to pay its interest now. Instead of thinking, yo, let's cut tax here, cut tax there, not take tax here, not take tax here. And that will incentivize. The UK is one of the only countries, okay? I think I saw somewhere that said, yo, if you make £99,000 and you have a child and you start making £101,000, you're going to be like 27 grand worse off because you're not going to get the same child benefits or something like that. It's stupid. It's dumb.
Crash going from around 2% annually to 0.6% on average.
And this the one thing that economists obsessed with is always growth. We have to grow. No, we don't. Why can't things be good and we just keep it that way? Oh no. Oh, productivity went down by 0.1%. Who cares? Who cares? It's still a profitable business. All the employees are happy. It's this obsession with growth that has killed everything.
Yeah.
The greed. Why do you need constant growth? You don't.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? If you've got £100 million trust fund or whatever.
I agree. That's a very good point in terms of the strive for growth. instead of people making things better, they're just thinking how to make more rather than improve. You know what I'm saying? So growth in a positive sense, where it's not good for things to stagnate, because growth is needed for things to evolve and reach their final form, whereas this growth is more greed centered. So they just want more, not actually, they don't want to be better, they don't want to be more, they just want more. And that's the difference.
Investment fund, and you buy a company for 50 million that makes 2 million a year profit, you know, and it just makes 2 million a year profit. The employees are happy, everything's happy. Why do you have to then get the company and say, okay, 2 million a year is not enough, I want 5 million a year?
Yeah, that's
so.
And then now, that's what I mean when they extract the money now, because now they're hoarding the money instead of them, because you see that money that they earned, yeah, all that extra money that they, like, say for example, so I've paid off my house, everyone in my family is good, I don't have to worry about nothing, but now I want the extra 3 million just to have 3 million, really and truly. With that 3 million, instead of a person hoarding that and cutting corners, they would be investing that extra 3 million that they made in to the business, so that way more people are getting paid more, so it increases wages, and then that's how it levels out the you can employ more people, and that's how you distribute the wealth, so that there's more jobs, higher paying jobs, and then people get the money back. That is what it is about. That is how money is supposed to work. If I know there's nothing as a self-sustaining energy force, but yeah, money's apart from trading, because obviously you're just exchanging innit? The exchange. So money's energy, so you're exchanging it. I'll have to think on that one a bit more.
Half your employees are fired. This XYZ, this, that, AI, mix AI with it. Okay, we're gonna milk the company for as much as we can.
Yo, K1, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, bro? Yo. Okay, cool.
And oh no, the company's losing money because the product is shit now, or AI is just doing whatever. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sell the parts of the company, sell the parts of it.
Yeah, see, this is just them to just extract more money. So like I was saying, instead of say the company usually makes 1 million and then they made 1.3 million, yeah, and then it's like, oh, we made 1.3 million, now I want to make 6 million or 4 million. Okay, instead of them using money to think how to extract more money out and keep it, what is meant to happen is they're meant to reinvest that money back in to give jobs to more people. After, yeah, look after yourself. You get rewarded because you created the company. Look after yourself. Every bill you need to pay, everything, yeah. But then now you need to redistribute the wealth back into the economy. And that's how the money stays in circulation. But instead, these companies, they build up businesses that make a lot of money, and then instead of injecting the money back into the ecosystem, into the economy for more people to have more high paying jobs, they extract the money, they hoard it and keep it, and then just try to cut corners and make more money. And then that's why there's no money. That's why we still have 4% and they have 96%, when back in the day we had 4%, they had 6%. That's why. That's the reason why.
And that's what private equity is doing to all these companies, bro. And it's just...
And then they sell it to someone else for more money. If the company fails, they're like, okay, we made 600 million, we lost 55 million. All right, let's break down the company now and sell it for 6 million.
You're like, that's what they've done to Argos. Well, Sainsbury's is kind of tired of Argos. I made a video on that yesterday. Go and look at it. But why did you need to fuck it up? Like, it was fine. It's greed that's doing that, because it's fine. What do you mean? Why do you need to do that?
And there's been massive cuts to local...
Like, it's greed. Myself, maybe I don't know because I'm not in that position, but if I've got a company with 500 employees that's making me £300,000 a year, all the employees are happy, I'm able to pay the employees a good wage, why am I changing anything?
And that's the problem. Why change it? I remember I used to work for a company. Towards the end of my time there, I was making I was always on the top leaderboards. I was doing one of the best, top 10, top 5 most of the time, sometimes top 3. I was always the best, always one of the best. Obviously you get your bonuses, and then I started hitting my bonuses all the time, and then they changed it from getting your bonus every paycheck. You get your bonus every 3 months, and it's not just individual bonuses, it's the whole team. So the whole team has to make more money, and it's like, wow. So basically all that money we made, we would be getting now. You're keeping it and you're giving us less, and we have to do more. Everyone has to make it, otherwise we don't get it. That's fuckery, because they basically raised the base standard. So now a lot more people are going to be much more higher, but then you still have some people that are below, and then because there's 1 or 2 that are below, and the ones that are higher, we wasn't getting the bonus, and that's why I left. I was like, yeah, you're taking the piss out of me.
But then you could argue, then I see the rebuttal there. It's like, oh, but there's no innovation. Then you don't innovate. Or maybe competition's going to come in there and wipe you out. That's a good point as well. It's about finding a balance, though, because right now it's just extreme. It's always growth, growth, growth. No, we don't always need growth.
Like I said, the money, what you're changing, when you're making more money, is to innovate. And then when you make more money, you look after yourself to the best of your ability. Your company is ethical, moral, all your employees make good wages, everyone can live a good life. And then when you have excess money after all of that, you know, the money that people put in tax funds that nobody needs, or when they already saved 100k, but now they're putting another 300,000 into the tax fund because that's how they keep their money. Instead of doing that, that 300,000 would be used to innovate the company and make the company better. And then innovation causes jobs, because you need people to actually innovate. You need to pay the people to innovate. And that's how you spread the wealth even more. And then now your company becomes better because it's providing more jobs and it's providing a better service for the human condition. But people ain't thinking like that. People are more just thinking, I want bread, rather than thinking, how do I make my bread, my brethren? How do we succeed in life? And obviously it's because the demons have run the show, bro.
Both councils and public services. Real wages have gone backwards, and that's combined with skyrocketing inflation.
How the frick does that make sense? Real wages have gone backwards. How have they gone down?
Real wages have gone backwards, and that's combined with skyrocketing inflation post-COVID and Brexit.
I think you're looking at the sort of economic impacts of deindustrialisation in parts of the north of England, people feeling that they're losing out.
Here in London, the seat of power, the government is promising to increase the minimum wage.
I would buy British steel, bro. Like, if there was a whole revolution here where it's like, yo, we're going to open production again, bro, I'll buy British everything. I don't care. I will. Like, I will.
Build more homes and invest in infrastructure to create more high-paying jobs.
This is definitely... I feel like he's only touching on one part of... what it means to... buy British, because initially he's saying that he wants Elaine to win. He wants to vote for Elaine, so that's the Reform Party. And then he's saying he wants to spend money on steel. He'd buy British steel, but at the same time, where we need the infrastructure there, because people aren't doing infrastructure jobs. It's still a service-based economy. So until that still can be used to actually create something of value and then start leveling the playing field a bit, it's not really going to make much difference. Because look at Trump. Trump did that. Trump brought back engineering to the yard, and it's just crazy right now. It's not really doing much.
And then I made a video about what they've done with HS2 up north, how they've cut it off, they've just called it off completely. How fucking stupid is that? That's the whole point, to connect the north.
Oda Doodle title. Oda Doodle title. I'll check that out still.
London more. Now it just shaves 20 to 30 minutes off of your journey to Birmingham. And why am I going to go to Birmingham by train and stay there? Come on.
Its Conservative opponents are pledging to reduce taxes and end stamp duty. There is also a focus in that building on reducing the level of migration, with the claim it'll ease pressure on infrastructure as well as housing. But you speak to political analysts, economists, and they'll tell you that the problems in this country are deep-seated, and for any politician to fix them, they'll need a lot of time, but perhaps most importantly, patience from their colleagues, other politicians, and the public.
What he's saying there is things need to get a lot worse before they get better. You know, and right now, things are bad, but we ain't seen nothing yet. Because nobody wants to be the one that has to take us through the greatest depression that we've seen in recent history, which is going to happen soon. That is what we're on track for. Nobody wants to be leading while we were going through that Great Depression. Why do you think they're increasing surveillance?
The older Dodo title sounds kind of mad still. Older Dodo title, how to get, it's mad still. Yeah, older Dodo title meaning absolute land ownership, free from superior landlords or taxes, is rarely available, as most modern land is held in fee simple and subject to government authority, while practically non-existent in the US today. In limited cases, it might involve paying off all liens and applying for state-specific programs. Okay. Man said it's a freedom of information request. I understand that's probably to create another data. Please highlight the process to do this. Also completely declared and registered accordingly. Thank you for your inquiry. I know that is not a term which I am particularly familiar, but I understand that such errors are not possible. Wow. Wow. And that's because of what the kings did. They used to just go around and just kill people. They used to just go to everywhere and just kill everyone. That's what they used to do. And they said that this is mine now.
AI technology, AI policing, because they know that is inevitable. It is inevitable. And there are some people who say that the AI bubble bursting will trigger that. Could do. It probably will, because AI is bullshit. It's not autonomous. I made a video explaining that as well. We've spoken about all of these things. But yeah, it will take the country coming together.
For British citizens.
And this is not the man to do it.
I agree.
This man is
I agree. This guy he's compromised. He's compromised much earlier than Trump. At least Trump was in office for like a year and a bit before he became compromised. This motherfucker's been compromised from like 2 years.
Career politician. You don't want a career politician. You want somebody in who's not there to be liked, who has the interests of the people.
Only.
But the reason this guy has his own interests at heart.
And promising a speedy fix, populist Nigel Farage, who leads the Reform Party.
I give up.
Recent polling shows that the Labour government's support has collapsed, and if an election was held in the UK tomorrow, Nigel Farage could become Prime Minister.
He's not winning, by the way. The way the media have covered him, and this guy went from...
Yeah, the reason why he's not going to win is because of the way the voting system works. Because, yeah, the majority of England might be voting for him, but it's not about the majority of England. It might just be the majority of South England, but you got East, West and South. And say, for example, everyone in South England voted, but then you only got a few people in North, East and South that voted. You're still going to have more of a number in terms of volume that voted for him, but you're going to have lesser percentages in each of the MP areas. So the areas who get voted in as MPs are the ones that then have the power to vote for Nigel.
Number one villain to now, Nigel getting the most airtime on TV when he's the one who caused Brexit. Like, come on, man.
In recent months, he's been recruiting MPs of the opposition Conservative Party, including former Shadow Foreign Minister Andrew Rosendale.
Remember what? Here's the thing. That guy, Rupert Lowe, he's extreme. He is quite extreme. But that shows you that, like, what you need is extreme, you know? This Zach Polanski plant guy, yeah? He's quite extreme. I don't even like talking about these actors, because none of them really makes a difference anyway. But this Zach guy, if you were to implement him there, he's quite extreme. You know what I mean? That's good. You need something extreme. This Rupert Lowe guy, he's quite extreme. But extreme is where things will happen. You might be thinking Zach, but they know he's not going to win, bro. Oh, this Zach guy, oh, these leftist, woke. Bro, at least things will be happening. You pick Rupert Lowe. Yeah, he's a madman, bro. You know what I mean? Things will happen. You pick Nigel Farage, nothing will happen, bro. All he's going to do is get rid of the NHS, bro. And I'll fight for that, because God bless the NHS. And M&S food.
We've been let down by both Conservative and Labour governments for so many years. We need a change. We need reform of our country.
Nigel Farage was obviously one of the most high-profile advocates for Brexit. Some people would say that the UK no longer being in Europe is part of what's driving up inflation.
The opposite is true. So what's happened is that since we've left the European Union, we're in control of our own laws again. When we were in the EU, we had to do what we were told by Brussels. Disaster. The idea that Brexit is the cause of our problems is absolutely wrong.
Okay, man.
Reform's message seems to be cutting through.
Such a simple, dodgy answer as well, not taking a look at everything else. Like, bro, that needs its own video.
In the UK's most deprived areas.
What annoys me, when I speak to my family, like, I remember was having a political discussions with family, can be dangerous, but was talking. And I asked all the family members, because obviously when Brexit happened, I wasn't old enough to vote. And they were like, oh, Brexit was a mistake. And all of them voted for Brexit. And I asked them, like, why?
Yeah, I remember
like,
that.
what was the psyche?
I remember that.
make
Nobody wanted Brexit. The reason why people voted for Brexit is because they didn't understand what Brexit was. Nobody understood. I didn't even understand what Brexit was until a few years ago. Brexit was us leaving the European Union. Why would we want to leave the European Union? Because they wanted to be free from the shackles of the regulations of the EU. Now, the EU had regulations to protect each other and make things easier with each other. Whereas we only thought, obviously that includes immigration, to help immigrate, get people over, rah, 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 rah. But then the UK obviously used that as a pain point for us to say, we don't like that, we don't want it. And then now we don't have any protections. The chocolate that we eat ain't even the real amount of chocolate, bro. Certain foods is fuckery, bro. And then without being in the regulations of the EU, some countries might not want it. But if the EU decide, Bill Gates' food is now mandatory, there must be this just as amount as Bill Gates' synthetic meat as there is real meat in supermarkets. It must be a human right. Then, bro, we have to do it. So in one sense, it was good to leave the EU because now we elect our leaders, but at the same time, with the leaders that we elect are controlled by the demons, and they're demons themselves. So we need to literally just fuck them off. Just ignore them. Just act like they're not here and we just do everything ourselves. Just ignore them. They try to take your money, ignore them. Everyone back each other. If you see someone getting harassed by somebody in uniform, back them. Everyone needs to have each other's back. This is the wild, wild west again. It's the wild, wild west.
I think that's a good idea. And they said, they just wanted, like, they believed the bullshit pretty much, bro.
Including Hull.
Like transport will be the...
I went to Hull. I went to Hull for like 3 days. Got a cheap Airbnb. That was alright. It was alright still. It was alright, man. It was alright.
Once a traditional Labour heartland, the city recently elected a Reform Party mayor, former Olympic gold medal boxer Luke Campbell.
And how has he won now? Because there's going to be some people watching and probably thinking, see these racists, all this to divide. Brother, this is what they're targeting, bro. This is why Reform might actually win across the country.
No, they are going to win.
They are targeting.
Reform are going to win, but he shouldn't win. Nigel Farage, Reform shouldn't. Reform, like I said, the UK is, you can see the future by just looking at America. The UK follows America. Anti-establishment guy, hard on immigration, for the private companies, for growth, for business and stuff like that. So Nigel Farage is the antithesis. Is it the antithesis? I think antithesis is like the opposite. He's more like the embodiment of Trump in the UK.
People who
as close as we can get, because you know the UK was so well mannered.
Felt unheard for generations. They felt unheard for generations, and this is a glimmer of hope. Like, he cares about this, cares about that, this, that. When it's like, it's just bullshit.
I personally think that people was fed up of politicians.
Eve to me
I
is
love that.
basically...
Alright guys, we ain't got much longer left of this. I'm actually getting kind of bored now. We got 4 minutes left, so let's just run through this quickly. Hopefully I only double the time. Right now we've been on live for an hour and 43 minutes, so let's see if we can get off before 2 hours.
I've got a sporting background. I've got no experience in politics, and I was always very clear about that.
That's great. That's the right man you want. That's what you want. Someone, because I don't believe this live. Who's someone telling me? You have to be caught.
Anybody that has been to private school, been an aristocrat, had posh upbringing in terms of having your house is as big as a park, they're not allowed to be politicians because they are the same people why the whole point of why a government was made. The whole point of government was made was for us to have representation of our will so that the people that have the wealth can enact their will on top of us. But now, those people that go to those schools, go to that training and have the upbringing, they're trained in the art of destroying us. Everything they do is to destroy us. So anybody that you want to be a politician for us, a real politician, it needs to be someone like my man, someone that you just come up off the road, wearing normal clothes, chats just like you, doesn't in the preposterous. Yeah, one or two people might talk like that, but that's alright. But I'm more talking about the swagger, the experience, the authenticity. Obviously, you can still get duped by that, but imagine there's 80% of us are all on the right side. Sorry, imagine there's 100 MPs, there's 80 MPs, and there's 20 up ones. The 80 ones are going to find the up ones and get rid of them. And if people aren't doing what they need to do, we don't vote for them. That's what it is.
Qualified to be a politician? What the fuck do you mean you have to be qualified to be a politician? Who qualifies you? You know how you get qualified to be a politician? By the people electing you and you doing what the people want. What do you mean fucking qualified, bro?
Why did you decide to run as a Reform candidate?
I just thought it as it was, it just wasn't currently working, and I think we needed something different, and that was my choice.
But across town, Kirsty Murray is doubtful any politician can make material change.
Yeah, I don't think.
Until you...
I don't think any politician is gonna take somebody like dictator Tankz.
Lived it. You don't know. It's alright making these promises.
It's too far gone, bro. Let me tell you the best way to save Hull.
It's too much. It's like, obviously never say never, and God's will is the greatest, innit? So whatever he wills, let it be, innit? It shall be. But us mortals, I think it's done for us, man. I think this is done. The only thing you can do is save yourself and people around you. Like, you might end up like this lovely woman here. Just do everything you can to not, because I like literally until she is my brethren and your brethren and everyone's brethrens, we're cooked.
Want to know how to save Hull? Okay, you've got the mayor in already. Okay, this is a banter. This is all jokes, by the way. Okay, you make sure you find mates in the police, the local police. You get someone who supports your cause as the head of police, head of ambulance out there, head of everything is secretly a part of your...
Is that what Dictator Tankz is on, you know? Yeah, we got to know good part of the video, fam. I told you, don't get hit with the brick. We got solutions, man. Real talk, real energy, real solutions. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. Just solutions, cuz. Just solutions, cuz.
Movement. Then you've got control there. So you've got access to guns. You've got access to, you've got control. Now, when they least expect it, you break away. You break away. You break away from the UK. You break away. You say, we're running our own economy. And oh my God, if history showed you one thing, Hull will instantly become the best place ever. Like, once you break away from what's a disaster, start doing things yourself, crops, all that, Hull will become paradise, bro. Your GDP will be bigger, total GDP will be bigger than the UK. And yeah, that's how you'll improve things in the short term. I mean, in the long term, just joking, but I'm joking.
Dude, but they're empty promises.
Some people have told us
that's gonna keep you nice for like maybe 12 years, unless it's just multiple villages, like he's just have multiple breakaway societies in UK. That's the only way, and then make the government start and everyone just govern themselves. Like, the only reason why other cities should be talking about other cities is about the relationships between the cities, not about their own thing, because each city is going to need their own thing. So just let one that's pattern, and then you all meet up just to think, look at the whole picture, say, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. Okay, cool, look at the whole picture. So if we give you this, what's going to happen to them? That's going to mash up. So we can't give you this. Are you sure maybe this might help it instead? Because if we give you this instead, it might be able to do that, and then everyone else will still be able to pack. That's how it needs to be. But now it's just, you got money, I got money. Yeah, let's go. Literally, that's all it is. That's literally all it is.
And it's broken, would you agree?
It's so simple. It sounds so simple, but that's what it is. It's just money, money. Okay, money. How do we keep money? Okay, keep money. Okay, cool, money. Let's go. Whereas, not thinking, bro, people are hurting. Say my people are hurting too. Oh shit, I'll back you. If you back me, I'll help you. Okay, how do people need help? Oh shit, you got that? Yeah, I got that. I was saying that. I could do this. That's the only way. Human connection. And this is what's separating. This is what's taking us away from human connection.
It is broken and it's not going to get any better.
Would you live somewhere else if you could?
I'd move abroad if I could. I would literally pack up and go because it's a walking nightmare.
Yeah, man, any pensioners watching, you'd be surprised. Now, if you've got your private pension coming in and you've got your state pension, because the state pension is poverty, you know, so you've got your pension coming in. Make some smart decisions, bro. I mean, even the countries where, you know, because Thailand used to be cheap back in the day, but even all the countries where you could go and live below your means, they're disappearing now, you know? Like, everywhere in the world. Ukraine apparently used to be good, but obviously, what do they do? What's happening there? I heard Ukraine used to be good. I'm talking a place where you can live comfortably, nicely for, like, less than £1,000 a month.
That's crazy.
That doesn't really exist anywhere in the world anymore.
Japan,
you know,
it does in Japan.
Would all flock there. Does that place still exist? Let me know in the comment section.
I'm pretty sure you can survive in Japan for under £1,000 a month. Obviously, if you convert £1,000, yeah, I'm pretty sure. But saying that, on people, them, thanks for tuning in to Don't Get Hit with a Brick. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to try to do lives once a week, and obviously I'll be dropping clips of this throughout as soon as I get access to it, because YouTube has to render it all. Yeah, YouTube has to render it all. And yeah, I drop a video every single day. Every single day I drop one video, but then with this is going to be a bit more. Depends. I'm going to do another stream next week. What else is there? Oh yeah, my EP's out. Trap Love Volume 1, 7-track EP. I'm dropping 21 songs this year, so tune in. And remember, guys, don't get hit with a brick. Ah!